The grocery store can be an overwhelming place. Although we are thankful for the variety of food options we have available to us today, sometimes we aren't sure what is the right product for us. Today we are going to discuss some common food labeling terms to help you make a more informed decision in the grocery store. Food labels can be a general description, a certified program, or an attempt to distinguish one product from another. Let's discuss 3 common terms we can find in all different types of food products. The first label, and likely the one that offers the most confusion for consumers, is USDA Organic. Organic products differ from conventional, not in their health or safety, but simply in the ways they are produced. These items are grown or processed according to certain federal guidelines that differ for each commodity. Some common standards are that these operations are less likely to use synthetic fertilizer, pesticide, or herbicide. Processing standards may limit what chemicals can be used, and meat animals are fed organic products and not administered antibiotics or additional hormones. Organic items are often more expensive than conventional products. A shopper who chooses to purchase organic may do so because they agree with the way that product was produced. But one who does not purchase organic, either because price is a hindrance or another reason, should not feel poorly about their decision. Both organic and conventional products are safe, wholesome food for your family. Scientifically, there is little difference in the nutrition of the products. All natural is a label we commonly see on processed products. But what does it mean? For a manufacturer to utilize this label claim, the product must not contain artificial ingredients, added colors, and must be minimally processed. When scouring the aisles of the grocery store, if you take a peek at many of the food labels, you will notice that most products could be using the all-natural label. Don't be fooled into paying more for a product that utilizes this label if there is another product with similar ingredients available. Consumers should not pay for marketing stances, and an informed consumer will know when a label, such as all-natural, may have little to no meaning on a product. This label can be beneficial for those who have allergies to artificial colors or flavors. GMOs, the dreaded topic of modern food industry. A product that claims GMO-free or that boasts the Non-GMO Project verified label is one that does not include GMO products. If the product is meat or eggs, it means the animal was not fed GMO products, particularly grain. GMOs, although scientifically accepted as safe and a modern marvel that helps feed the world using less resources, can be quite scary for the average consumer with little knowledge on the subject. Genetically modified organisms have one or more genes altered to produce a desired response. This response may be increased resilience to insect pests or disease, which lowers the need to spray chemicals on the crop, or resistance to damage from herbicides, which help control weeds in crop fields and produces more product yield. Do your research on GMO products and determine if this is a label that matters to you as an individual. Just remember, GMOs undergo rigorous testing and are a safe, nutritious food source for your family, if you choose to purchase them. Be aware that there are only 11 approved GMO crops in the U.S. currently. Only certain varieties of these crops are GMO, and not all sold in the store are GMO just because these types are available for production. When you see a product that says GMO-free, check out the ingredient list and determine how many ingredients even have a GMO variety available to see if it's worth the added cost. The issue with labels and product marketing is it can be quite confusing for consumers. When products like peaches, pears, and cherries, prunes, or peas and carrots, none of which even have a GMO variety available, are marketed as non-GMO, it encourages misinformation for the average consumer. These labels send a hidden message to potential buyers, insinuating they are better than a product that does not contain the non-GMO label, despite there not being a GMO product available on the shelf. Watch out for these hidden, meaningless labels and make sure it is not increasing your bill at the checkout line. Overall, marketing is not our friend in society. Manufacturers choose to market their product in a way that is eye-catching to consumers and often full of fluff. An egg container that touts "made with fresh air and sunshine" or "happy hens" is much more appealing than your average, boring egg container, despite the product being $3 more expensive. Pretty packaging can dupe consumers into purchasing products that may be similar to a conventional product. When choosing a product, make sure you are reading the ingredient list, the nutritional analysis, and checking out the facts behind any claims made on the packaging before you spend your money. Let's narrow down to the beef aisle in the grocery store and look at some commonly misunderstood beef labeling terms. Terms like USDA grades, organic, grass-fed, or antibiotic and hormone-free can be found on a variety of beef products. There are 3 USDA beef grades you will find on the packaging of your beef products. USDA Prime is the top-of-the-line beef. This product is more expensive because the meat has more desirable quality, particularly related to the amount of intramuscular fat. Intramuscular fat is one of the deciding factors of beef grades. This is the white flecks of fat you see throughout the beef and can most easily be spotted in items like steaks. USDA Choice is common in the grocery store for most fresh beef items and is still a great beef product that will taste delicious and provide quality nutrition. USDA Select has less intramuscular fat and therefore may not be as tender. However, these cuts are still suitable for many dishes, particularly if they are marinated. USDA Select items will typically be the cheaper ones in the cooler. All beef sold in the United States is federally inspected and is a safe, wholesome, and nutritious food source. Selecting a different grade of beef may be because of the type of cut you are looking for, price point, or cooking style, but all have their place in the kitchen. Grass-fed beef is a tricky subject. Technically, there is no standard definition of grass-fed currently upheld by the USDA. This means grass-fed products can vary on production methods, and not all are the same. To market a product as grass-fed, the label must be approved by the USDA. However, third-party verification, such as the American Grass-Fed Association or other associations, indicate stricter standards of production methods. It is important to remember that all beef is grass-fed for most of its life. Conventional cattle are moved to a confined feeding operation after they are weaned, typically around 6 or 7 months old, and have been on open pastures for that time period. Once moved to a feeding operation, they are housed with the appropriate amount of space in groups with access to fresh water and feed. Feedlot rations are generally never less than 50% forage, or grass. Therefore, all cattle are eating a grass-based diet for their entire life. It is also important to remember that grass-fed feedlots do exist. These operations operate similarly to a conventional feedlot, however, their diets are 100% forage-based. Keeping these facts in mind will help you determine if grass-fed products are right for your family. Grass-fed beef is quite delicious and a prominent fixture in many traditional dishes because of its unique taste. Beef products that promote antibiotic-free or hormone-free are sometimes found in the cooler. Antibiotic-free beef is an animal that was lucky enough to not get sick or have an infection that required the use of antibiotics. Animals who do require antibiotic treatments are separated and sent to a herd that does not qualify for this labeling tactic. All beef, pork, and poultry products are antibiotic-free, since any animal administered an antibiotic must wait a specified amount of time before it can be slaughtered. Meat is randomly sampled at the plants to ensure everything is below the mandated regulations. Hormone-free beef is not possible, as all living things, both plants and animals, are full of natural hormones they produce on their own. However, added hormone-free beef is possible. Some ranchers choose to implant their growing cattle with estrogen tablets. This added hormone helps promote growth and is more sustainable since it allows us to produce more beef from one animal in the same amount of time. This practice is not done by all ranchers, so most meat in the grocery store is added hormone-free, regardless if the package is labeled that way or not. As we noted before, all living things have hormones. Some common products that we consume have significantly higher levels of estrogen than a single serving of beef. For example, white bread has over 45,000 times more nanograms of estrogen than a serving of beef that was implanted with an estrogen tablet. An adult woman naturally produces 171,000 times more estrogen in one day than what the beef that may consume contains. It is important to note that implanted beef only contains 1 more nanogram of estrogen per serving than non-implanted beef. Compared to other items on our plate, added hormones in beef are not doing much to impact our daily hormones. Let's discuss some commonly misunderstood poultry labeling terms. Poultry products can have labels like cage-free, free-range, pasture-raised, vegetarian-fed, higher omega-3s, or no hormones or antibiotics as well. Most often found on egg products, but sometimes in meat products, we see 3 different labels. Cage-free, free-range, and pasture-raised refer to how an animal is raised. In conventional egg layer houses, chickens are confined in small group cages, whereas in cage-free, all laying chickens in one house have access to the entire square footage. A free-range operation houses poultry in a building but gives them access to the outdoors, as does a pasture-raised operation. All meat birds are cage-free. However, we can see added labels like free-range or pasture-raised on meat poultry products as well. These options sound great, but do have some potential problems. For example, birds with access to the outdoors are subject to predators, the elements, and introduction of disease from the wild bird population, all of which can increase mortality rates. These operations are also sometimes subject to sustainability problems because they require more space and more resources to produce the same amount of meat as a conventional operation. Although these types of poultry farms can be successful, there may be a learning curve in the beginning that may impact animal welfare. Vegetarian fed is a label that has been popping up in the poultry industry for quite a few years. Unfortunately, chickens are not meant to be vegetarians, as they naturally are omnivores, and their typical diet would include forbs, insects, and even small mammals or reptiles. Vegetarian chicken feed must be supplemented with synthetic amino acids that they would typically get from animal protein. Some science suggests that eggs from these hens can be of lower quality than your typical conventional eggs. Don't be fooled by marketing gimmicks that might make the consumer feel better, but are not the best option for the animal. Omega-3 eggs come from hens that are supplemented with fish oil or flaxseed to increase the omega-3 in their diet and therefore in the eggs. If you are paying more for these products, make sure to check out the actual grams of omega-3 across brands to get the best bang for your buck. If the packaging lists the type of omega-3, look for ones with more DHA than ALA, as these are a better source of omega-3s for humans. We commonly see labels that tout antibiotic-free or hormone-free on poultry products. It is important to note that, again, these products are added hormone-free, not completely free of naturally occurring hormones. Added hormones are illegal to use in the United States for poultry and pork production. Therefore, all poultry and pork products in the grocery store are added hormone-free. Don't pay more for this labeling tactic. As we discussed with beef products, all meat is antibiotic-free because of the withdrawal periods. Most poultry are raised antibiotic-free because the withdrawal times are longer than the typical meat chicken's lifespan. However, if for some reason a chicken or other poultry animal is administered antibiotics, it would not be slaughtered until after the withdrawal period and the residue has cleared its body. Of course, meat is randomly sampled in the plant to ensure regulations are met and the food entering our grocery stores and restaurants is safe. It's important not to fall for marketing gimmicks that prey on the consumer's lack of knowledge. Hopefully, this presentation has given you a quick insight on common labeling issues with some products found in the grocery store and how you can shop as an informed consumer. Choosing the right product for you and your family while knowing all of the facts behind your food is the best way to support the agriculture industry in the U.S. If you have further questions regarding these product labels or other questions concerning how your food is produced, please don't hesitate to reach out.